Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. It's Anonymous T. Hope we're having an amazing day today. So today we're talking Big Brother. Today we are doing a little bit of a celebration, you guys, again, because it's 1 month officially today since Taylor Hale won season 24, was the first Black female winner in 24 seasons of Big Brother on CBS. And I just wanted to take a moment to celebrate again, you guys, and give her flowers. Winning the largest amount of money, being the first person to win not only the prize, the grand prize of $750K, but also an additional $50K for a total of $800,000 because she was also the winner and the winner of America's Favorite Player, you guys. And her journey has been one for the books, but one thing we cannot deny was she had one hell of a social game that basically took her to the end, you guys. She was even able to convince her haters and her naysayers that she was the best option to stay in the house, that she was the best option to take to the end. And they fell for it, you guys. They fell for it hook, line, and sinker, you guys. And let's talk about how A1 her jury management was, you guys. Her jury management on the last week of the house for the people who were heading off to jury was immaculate, you guys. Was immaculate. She made it so that everything was personal and catered to that person and their personality and their wants and needs, to where they left the house thinking, I'm going to vote for Taylor to win, no matter what, you guys. So there is that. But yeah, I just wanted to celebrate, and and as a result of her popularity and all of the positive things that are happening for her, I believe she just said in a recent interview on Caitlin Bristow's podcast that I think came out in the middle of the night, that she did have a meeting with Lays, because that podcast actually was recorded a couple of weeks ago. And so she mentioned in the podcast that she had a meeting with Lays the following week. So that would have been the week after that podcast was filmed, you guys. So there is that. But there are so many positive things, to take away from Taylor's win. There are so many ways to look at her approach to the game, to, look at how she played the game, look at how alone she was most of the game, and still was able to navigate through, you guys. Surviving that first couple of weeks for her was completely awful, with the bullying, with the ostracizing, with the microaggressive comments and everything else. And, then of course she's, friends with Brittany and friends with Michael and then friends with Joseph. And that was really kind of, the start of things starting to turn around for her, with ultimately her being a part of the Leftovers alliance, you guys, that dominated this show up until the stupid twist of Direfest and Brochella, you guys, that split up the Leftovers. And ultimately, unfortunately, Joseph was the casualty of that. And also the star of the live feeds, you guys. Joseph and Taylor, we cannot stress enough how much you guys were stars on the live feeds. How much the cameras loved the both of you. How much so many of us stayed up till 8, 9 o'clock Eastern time just to get our nightly jailer talk, you guys. I mean, it was just insane, but it was so refreshing, because you could see how genuine these people were. You could see how nice these people were, how good these people were, and this and that. And, everything has been, just as advertised, you guys. Everything postseason, they have been the exact same person as they were in the house. And so, it just really sucked, though, after the twist, because I felt as though, it really rocked things, right? And looking back on it, I realized how few people in the house really had Taylor's back, specifically after the twist, right? And how quickly the after party really just slandered Joseph's name and just really worked overtime and made things personal, incorporated personal things to really hit home. Oh, this, Joseph's that, Joseph said this about you, and people wanting to see you cry, and people laughing at you crying, and people wanting you to be upset about Joseph. And all of these things, it was just a disaster, you guys. It was just a complete and utter disaster. And, eventually I'm sure Taylor will find out all of the things that were said and everything else as she continues to watch through the episodes and be provided the associated live feed clips that kind of correlate with what was going on those particular weeks as well. But ultimately, to go through all of that, to have the sixth sense whenever people were trying to come for her or trying to accuse her of something that she didn't say or she didn't do, or try to interpret her thoughts wrong or her comments wrong, and out of nowhere she just like appears and says a few things, and then all of it's deaded. All of the beef is squashed right then and there. Is just again another testament to her social game. She really, so for me, I don't feel she really needed to win comps. Like, I felt as though, once she survived the block that first week, I was like, yeah, she's good. She's good, right? Like, I was never worried, right? And because she was my preseason pick, which like never happens. My preseason pick never wins, you guys. So I was like excited when this happened. But with that being said, she only won when she needed to, you guys. She only won when she needed to, right? Because her alliance, certain people in the alliance still wanted Taylor to be a pawn for the alliance, for anybody else that they wanted to get rid of, whether it was Alyssa or Jasmine or Indy or whoever. We're still talking about Taylor potentially being a pawn. So, because they still wanted to, quote, hide the alliance. And I'm like, you guys, there's really, like, I think it's funny because it's like, really, there's no hiding an alliance. Like, you can tell who's gone all the time, right? You can tell if everybody's huddled up in the HOH room at the same time every night and you're not included, right? They know who the alliance is. The problem is, the people, once they figure out the alliance, they never do anything to stop the alliance, right? They need to start winning competitions and they end up not winning and just basically going out the door one by one. And the only thing that prevented the leftovers from going to 7 as a group was the stupid twist, you guys. But I think they would have made it. But I think we would have had a different winner. Because for whatever reason, they were pushing hard for Kyle and Michael to take it. But the problem was they could not protect Kyle anymore. And they made Michael and Britt the scapegoats. And that ultimately was, the setup for their demise as well. So, we get through, like I said, both of her HOHs were clutch, basically. The first one so that she doesn't have to be a pawn. And then the second one to ensure her safety into the final 3 and officially clock her ticket as a finalist on the show, you guys. As a finalist to potentially win $750K. And so I felt that those were poignant, and she still came close in other competitions. I mean, had Michael not been on this season, I'm sure there would have been a few more comps that she would have won. But it just so happened that also she didn't really need to win, right? So there was that. But, as we kind of like peruse on through the game, it was just more so, again, leaning into her alliance and what was left of the leftovers. And, really just trying to plug away and just making sure that she got herself to the end, getting closer, to different people in her alliance she previously wasn't close to, because she was like with Joseph all the time and everything else. And if it wasn't Joseph, it was Michael and Brittany. So really cultivating other relationships in the house. So that way, they could trust her. They could, take her further in the game and this and that, and they could be a team. So I loved all of it. I loved, the end game. I loved Taylor's answers to the jury questions. I loved that, the speech that Taylor gave. I was up all night listening to her prepare for that speech, and it was, everything that I wanted and more, right? Talking about, you're the blockbuster, you've bled the most, and everything else. Like, I was like, yes, tell it, girl. Tell them what you've been through. But it was just so iconic. It was just so iconic for so many reasons, and it was just beautiful. And I'm just still mad at Turner because it should have been a unanimous win, you guys. It should have been a unanimous win. How could you listen to that speech, and how could you listen to everything all the other jurors said before you and not vote for Taylor? Like, I don't care what Turner says. Like seriously, how could you not vote for Taylor in that situation? So, you know, I'm so happy she won. I think she's going to be probably one of the most successful BB winners ever. I don't think what she did is ever going to be able to be replicated. And it's not going to have the demand that Taylor Hale has, you guys. She broke the streaming record this season alone for Paramount Plus because people who never even watched Big Brother before, people who've never heard of Big Brother before, tuned in to see Taylor Hale, you guys. And even people who didn't know Taylor and don't even know anything about Jailer, you guys, but they see your fan edits, you guys. They see your fan edits on Twitter and they're like, I don't know who she is. I don't know who he is, but I'm rooting for them, right? Didn't even know what show they were on, you know, and we're just immediately rooting for them. So that just speaks to the impact and, you know, how quickly people can be drawn in and resonated with somebody like Taylor, you guys. And I am just happy for all of the positive things to come for her. I know there's going to be something, you know, we're going to hear soon, I'm sure, about this Lay situation. And also, she's going to be on the upcoming Bold and the Beautiful episode. And also, she just came back from Canada to do a couple of appearances with Joseph and Turner, you guys. And I'm sure there's more things down the pike that she cannot announce yet, but that are coming. So there is that. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are. What are your, you know, takeaways now that it has been a month after Taylor wins, you know, season 24 of Big Brother? And there's still all this buzz, you guys. Taylor's still trending, you guys. Big Brother was trending today. Hale Raisers is what they call the fan base and everything else for Taylor Hale. That was trending today. And also Jailer trends every day, you guys. Jailer trends every day because it's lit. It is lit. Those fans are hilarious. So there is that. But let me know what your guys' thoughts. What are your takeaways? What do you think the future holds for Taylor? You know, professionally and where her career is going to go and everything else. What do you guys think? Please let me know in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.